I can't think of anything really.
Howdy, folks. What's going on? This is the Outlaw Hatfield back at you one more time. I got Giz and Gary with me. How you doing, Gary?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for the invite, man.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm not real sure how long this one's going to last tonight, gentlemen, and ladies, or whoever else might be out there. Uh, I am talking to you guys and packing up, getting ready for my little camping excursion tonight. So,
Cool.
yeah, we got about a hour and a half trip to Santee from here, maybe a little longer than that. We got to set up camp tonight. Probably stop at Walmart before we actually get there, pick up a few things. So,
You got good weather?
oh, it's supposed to be beautiful the next 2 days. In the low 80s up in Santee. No rain in the forecast.
Nice.
But then again, last time we went, there was no rain in the forecast, too. And that storm blew in out of nowhere and about took my tent with it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I wasn't happy about that. That was not one of those great moments in my life. And for anybody that decides they want to go out and buy a tent, here's a piece of advice. Make sure you buy tent stakes other than the ones that they give you in the tent package because those suck.
Little tiny ones? Yeah.
Yeah, little aluminum things just bend right over when you're trying to drive them into the ground.
Some of them come with plastic stakes.
I'd
They're really.
actually, I would actually prefer the plastic ones over them thin aluminum things that just bend over.
Yeah.
But that's just me. And I never claimed to be the sharpest tool in the shed, so I could be wrong.
Well, the last thing you want to happen is your tent to go blowing away on you.
Yeah, this is true, especially thunder and lightning. It got real fun there for a little while. It
Yeah.
got a bit interesting, but that's okay. We both survived it.
That's the important thing.
Yep. Let's check see who we got out there. Hey Tardot, what's going on? Scott's out there. Gary, you're out there. So there's two chatting and three watching, and I'm sure two of them threes in here. So I've got other links out. Whoever shows up shows up. Hey, Gun Snob, how you doing, buddy?
I know for a fact your cousin is awake because he just texted me a second ago.
Oh, I didn't send him a link.
Ah.
I figured he was asleep. That's why he don't get links because he's normally in bed by this time. That's how he misses out on all the pizza and stuff, you know.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Go to bed at 10 o'clock. You're gonna miss the pizza, and Gary's gonna eat every bit of it.
It's just one piece. It ain't like I ate a whole lot. I think Matt and them downstairs ate most of it.
Yeah. Tardot, how's your better half doing? I ain't seen her in a few days.
She was on chat earlier tonight. I saw her.
Hmm. I just, dude, I have not been around much lately at all. I ain't even been doing my late night stuff. I have been so busy at work. By the time I get home, I'm absolutely destroyed. So
Well,
I'm,
this business of me having to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning has took care of a lot of my late night activities too. At least during the first part of the week.
well,
Thursday night's a little different because I know I don't have to go to work the next day.
well, how many days a week they got you working now? Two,
Just
three?
I work 4/10s.
See, that's sweet. That's the same schedule my girlfriend's got. She's off 3 days. She works. Let me get this straight because it's easy for me to screw it up. She works Mondays. She's off Tuesdays and Wednesdays. She works Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, and off Sundays.
See, I work Monday through Thursday, and I have Friday, Saturday, Sunday off.
Now, see, that's the way to do it. If you're going to give somebody 3 days off in a week, give them 3 days off back to back.
On the weekend. That way I've got a day early start on the weekend.
Yeah.
Everybody else has to go to work on Friday. I'm sleeping in.
See, that'd be the perfect time to go hit the lake right there.
Hit the lake, hit the range, hit the gun shops.
Because honestly, that's why I love having my days off during the week. Because I can go to the river or the lake or to the gun range during the week, and there ain't nobody else there because everybody else is working.
Yeah, if I go on a Friday afternoon to my gun range, there ain't anybody in there. I can have the whole thing to myself.
And like I said, that is sweet. That's good times right there. You ain't got to rush. You ain't got to worry about some idiot shooting you in the back.
If I want to set up a camera, I got plenty of room to do it where I ain't nobody's road.
You had it made, don't you?
Yeah, because it's a small range. I mean, it's only a 5-lane range, so if it's busy in there, you got people running all around, getting in your road and everything else. No place to put your bags.
When's the last time you went to the range?
Back when I did my Star BM video.
Oh, that's been a few weeks now, ain't it?
Yeah, it has.
I reckon I need to do something, start going to the range myself. Here, all I've been doing lately is going to the damn river fish or the lake. But, you know, it's that time of year. Fish start biting. I want to be out there with them.
Well, I'll tell you what, here it's been ungodly hot the last few days.
And it's been unseasonably cool here. The last few days, it ain't got above 85, which is strange. Because this place is notorious for 120-degree weather sometimes. Or at least that's what it feels like. You work in that kitchen, it's probably hotter than that.
Yep.
I tell you what, I've seen it so hot in that kitchen, and I don't sweat often at all. It has to be really hot, and I have to really be working to break a sweat. But I've seen days in that kitchen where it looks like I've went through gallons of water. It's just a pain in the ass.
And then you're standing over a hot sink on top of everything else.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It don't do you no favors, that's for sure. But then again, I don't complain about that, and I'll tell you why I don't. Because I know if it's that hot for me, them cooks has got to be dying back there.
Well, now that's true.
Yeah. But here's the thing. The cooks all have fans blowing on them. I don't.
Well, that ain't fair.
Yeah, well. Who has said anything about life being fair? Nobody, as far as I know. Gizzard Gary sounds fun. Gizzard Gary is fun. That was the gun snob, by the way.
Yeah, he wanted to know what I did for a living, so I told him.
I'll put it like this. If Gary comes home glowing in the dark at some point, we'll understand why.
I've been out there 38 years. If it's going to happen, it's already happened by now.
Well, you ain't turned green yet. Started smashing buildings. Or maybe it's just a different kind of radiation. If I ain't mistaken, it was gamma rays that got Bruce Banner.
Yeah, that ain't working for me.
Well, I hope it don't. I'd like to keep you around the next several years, anyway. And George would surely miss you.
Yeah, you would. I just had a cousin pass away this last week, but he was 85 years old, so I come from a big family. I got a lot of cousins older than me.
Yeah, so do I. I got a lot of cousins older than me. Then again, I've got an uncle that's got to be pushing 95.
There was 7 kids in my dad's family, and dad was next to the youngest. And on top of that, dad was 37 when I was born. So
You were the wish child.
yeah, there's 11 years between me and my closest sibling.
Well, that was me and my sister. My older sister is 50, 55, I think, this year. So I called her up. Her birthday was beginning of last month. I called her up and wished her happy birthday, and she says, "Yeah, you know what the greatest part about it is?" Well, she says, "What?" She says, "You ain't but 10 years behind me." I said, "Yeah, thanks." Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, but you won't ever catch up with her.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
No, I was just kind of talking with family members and mingling. The service was Sunday night, and I thought to myself, I'm getting damn sick and tired of going to this same funeral home about once every couple of months and meeting family members there. Mom's funeral was just a couple of months ago.
Yeah, you've had a rough run lately, ain't you?
Yeah, it hadn't been the best year in the world.
I tell you what, and then this is what makes me sweat every time a February rolls around. My mom died in February. My grandfather died in February. My dad died in February. My best friend died in February. It seems like everybody that I'm close to dies in February. So every time January's about ready to end, I start sweating it. Who's it going to be now?
My dad died in March.
I just think it's weird that everybody that I've ever really cared about that's passed away is all died in February.
Dad ain't hard to remember. He died on 3/6 of 99.
Yeah. My dad died in, I guess, what was it, 82? I was young when he died.
Dad died on 3/6 and mom died on 5/10.
Yeah. Well, I got you one better than that. My mom died in, I think it was, let me, I don't want to lie to you here, but I think it was February 10th or 11th, if I ain't mistaken. My best friend Ronnie dug her grave, carried her casket. 2 days later, he was dead.
Wow.
Yep. You want to talk about a rough month? That was a rough month for me. Gary, I'll never forget as long as there's breath in my body. But I was laying in bed and I heard his wife screaming running down the road. So I jumped up, got dressed, ran outside and asked her, I said, Jeanette, what is wrong? She says, I think Ronnie's dead. I said, what? She says, I think he's dead. So I walked out there, told her to go out to her father-in-law's house, and she did, thankfully. I walked down out to his house, went and checked on him, and sure enough, he was laying in bed, curled up. It's like it broke my heart right there. So I walked out the house, closed the doors up, started walking out the road toward her father-in-law's place. And as I was walking toward it, his sister was walking toward me. And I stopped him, and I was like, ain't no sense in going out there, Diane. He's already gone. And she just looked at me. She says, really? I said, yeah. Yeah, okay. So we walked back and started making phone calls, getting everybody back.
Wow.
I called his son, and his son thought I was joking because he was there for Mom's funeral. He says, your mom just died. You're going to joke with me like that? And I said, Donnie, buddy, I ain't joking. I mean, how do you politely tell somebody their dad's dead? I
Yeah.
can't. I can't think of a polite way to do it. But he thought I was joking. I was like, no, dude. So yeah, that was a rough month for me. That was
See, now both my parents, we knew it was coming. So we were all just kind of waiting, knowing it was going to happen eventually. And about the day or two that it was going to happen, we knew in both cases, we knew a day or two ahead of time that get ready because it's about to happen.
yeah.
I don't
Well,
know if that makes it any easier or not, but
I I guess it's like with mom. Mom died of lung cancer, and we had a year. We knew it was coming, and like everybody else, we was just biding time and saying prayers, hoping for the best, hoping for a miracle. And my sister had come from Georgia to visit mom in West Virginia, and she had been there about 2 days. And I was doing something, I can't remember what it was, and she yelled at me, and I said, "What?" She says, "We got to take mom to the hospital." I said, "Okay, no problem." And mom couldn't walk. She just couldn't get up. She didn't have strength. So I picked her up and I carried her to the car from inside the house. And that was the first time that I realized how sick mom really was. Gary, when I picked her up, it was like picking up an infant. She didn't weigh nothing. I mean, it honestly felt like I was picking up a 6 or 7 year old kid. And that at that moment, I think that's when it finally hit me. You know, this is it. You know, we took her to the hospital. She lasted 48 hours on the highest morphine drip they could possibly give her. It amazed the doctors that she hanging on as long as she did. My niece was coming in from Georgia with her husband with a newborn baby, and mom held on long enough to see that baby. And after she seen the baby, she let go. But I guess she just absolutely refused to go before she seen that baby. She was a fighter, if nothing else.
yep.
And God, I miss her. Don't ever, ever, ever think you'll ever stop missing your parents when they're gone, folks, because you don't. There ain't a minute of a day that I don't miss my mom.
Well, I had a buddy tell me a couple of years ago, my best buddy out at work, he said he lost his mom about 15 years ago, and he said, just make sure whatever chances you get to visit, he said, if she needs you for something, he said, be there. He said, because you'll regret every time you missed.
Yep, that is a fact.
I made most of the time. There were some times I couldn't. I do regret those, but I honestly say I did my best.
Well, I can say this. I did everything I could to take care of Mom in that last little while. You know,
And she
I
got her
did.
hip replaced, and she was in a wheelchair for 6 weeks. There wasn't anybody to. If she, they wanted to send her home, but they said somebody had to stay with her.
Yep.
So I said, "Well, I guess I'm moving in with you for about 6 weeks." She said, "What are you going to do about your house?" I said, "Oh, I'll go by and check on it on the weekends and stuff like that." But I said, "I can bring clothes and stuff. I'll be all right." So I stayed in my old room. I actually went to work. That was okay. But when I come home, I had to cook for her, clean for her, check bandages. I was basically her live-in nurse for 6 weeks.
Yep.
And when weekends come, we went to her favorite restaurant. I put her in the wheelchair, got her in and out of that car, and we did not skip a beat. As far as selling her Avon, which she did, we pretty much handled that via the phone, and we her better customers would actually come to the house and pick it up because they knew she couldn't get around, but she still continued to sell. I wanted to keep her business going because that meant a lot to her. So
Yep. I understand what you're saying, man. It's
you
wasn't easy.
you dig deep and you do what you got to do.
Well,
I, I I had just bought a brand new big screen TV that Christmas before then. This was in January. And I actually watched the Super Bowl at my mom's house on her dinky little TV because, well, that's where she was. That's where I was. And she was apologizing all over. She said, "Well, I'll bet you'd rather be at home watching this." I said, "I'm not needed at home. I'm needed here. So we'll watch it here."
yeah.
Sometimes sometimes we'd order pizza. I'd go get it, bring it home. We didn't we did things, we'd go on rides, we'd do fun stuff. Watch her program. Sometimes she'd let me watch mine. I even had her computer set up to where I could get on there, get on my Facebook and stuff.
Yeah, my mom was addicted to the a couple of those Nick at Night shows. She liked the Golden Girls. She would not miss an episode of that. Three's Company. She liked that one.
My
She
mom
liked.
was Wheel of Fortune. She did not miss Wheel of Fortune every night after the news came on.
Now, see, my mom wasn't into the game shows. She liked the sitcoms. And me, anybody that knows me will tell you I cannot stand a sitcom, but I would sit right there and I'd watch them with her.
And then she
And
would
hate every minute of it.
she would go to bed around 11 o'clock at night because she was kind of a night owl like me. And then she'd lay in bed and do crossword puzzles for an hour before she got sleepy.
I tell you what the hardest thing for me was for the longest time after mom died. I was used to getting up in the morning and going to the dining room and having a cup of coffee with my mother every single morning. You know,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden that wasn't there no more. And I was like, wow, this is gonna take some getting used to. But we deal with it, move on, don't we, buddy?
And I think the toughest part was when we finally moved her to Kansas City with my sister and we had to sell the house. Well, mom and dad bought that house back in 48 and all three of us kids grew up in that house. And it's just weird to have to move all the stuff out of it. And I can't even hardly stand and drive by the place anymore. I
I
said,
can
"That's
imagine
not
so.
it's not the place I grew up in. Somebody else lives there now. It's their house." So,
Hell, have to do something to keep that block up, don't you?
Yeah.
Some idiot actually burned down Mom's house. I have no clue who done it. I'd love to find out. But a few years back, somebody burned it down, burned it to the ground.
Well, I drove within half a block of it last night because the funeral home's only about a block away from Mom's old house. So. But
Yeah.
they had a military funeral for my cousin, and they had about 20 or so great big old American flags, people standing up there holding them. And that service was about an hour and 45 minutes long, and they held them flags the entire time. And they did the 21 gun salute at the end and flag ceremony. It's quite the service. But he was in National Guards for 43 years. So.
You can say he served his country proudly.
Yep. Although somehow he managed to serve in the National Guards for 43 years, but never ever managed to get deployed in wartime. Now he did it. He did an awful lot of, the relief stuff like, snowstorms and floods and stuff like that. But as far as actually having to go overseas and serve, he never had to.
Lucky man.
He was a good man.
But you know what? I know a lot of military guys that I've known over the years, and guys like that. He was probably regretting the fact that he didn't go overseas. Because everyone I've ever talked to that had served like that and, didn't get called up to go over and everybody else that they knew were going, they seemed disappointed by it.
Well, he actually quit school his senior year and talked his mom into helping him join the National Guards in the middle of his senior year. So he didn't actually graduate high school until he was almost 30 years old because he wanted to get in the service. That's just what he wanted.
Can't blame him. That's one of my biggest regrets right there is not joining the military when I was younger.
I thought about it.
So did I, and I should have actually done it. And the reason I didn't do it is because I had my brother-in-law at the time, who was a Marine, pushing me toward the Marines, and I had a friend who was in the Navy, and he was pulling me toward the Navy. And I was like, you know what? Screw them both. I'm going to do what I want.
Yeah, I had classmates that joined the Marines, one in the Air Force, a couple in the Navy.
But yeah, I regret to this day that I didn't join the military when I was younger. And sometimes I honestly get to thinking, well, maybe it was for the best, because when I was young, I had this problem with authority, you might say. They would have loved me. Hey, Midnight, how you doing, buddy?
There is a Travi in the audience.
Yeah, I see that.
Need to get him on here.
Well, I would, but I'm only going to be here for about another 2 or 3 minutes, I think. I just got a message from her. She's fairly close now, so.
Oh.
I think I'm going to call this one quits and start carrying the stuff out for the camping trip and see how things goes.
Well, you're going to really hurt Rich White's feelings.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, guys.
He always comes in right before chat's end for some reason. I don't understand.
He's got timing, man. He's got timing.
He's gonna.
It's bad timing, but it's timing.
He's gonna get a complex. He's gonna think that people just shut their chats down when he comes in on purpose.
Well, I assure you, Rich, it has nothing to do with you. I've had this trip planned for 2 weeks, and I am not about to miss it. I'm hoping to be posting some pictures sometime tomorrow night of some nice sized catfish that I've caught.
Well, that sounds like a winner. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
Matt just got over with. Okay.
I love you guys dearly, but I love catching catfish too. So it's kind of
There ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
it's kind of hard having to choose between y'all and the catfish, but tonight we're just going to have to go with the catfish.
Well, how long a drive you got?
Oh God, it's about an hour and a half, 2 hours, give or
Oh,
take. And she just got off work too, so it's going to be fun for her.
now do you got a campsite like reserved, or are you
Yeah.
rough camping, or?
Oh well, it's actually a primitive campsite, but yeah, we've got a place reserved for us.
Oh, okay. So you don't gotta worry about hunting a place.
No,
You know where you're going. Okay.
no. See, I ain't broke her in enough to be wanting to go doing some real camping.
That's when it's really fun. Go out there and just find you an open spot. Hope there are no snakes or lizards.
Well, if there's snakes and lizards, that don't bother me. It's other things I worry about. Wild hogs and alligators.
So we ain't got those here.
So, oh, you're in the middle of the country. Of course, you ain't got alligators.
Ain't got no gators, ain't got no wild hogs. Might have a coyote or two.
Well, we got them
Raccoon.
too. They ain't gonna bother you.
No bears.
See, that's what your problem is out there. Lack of predators.
No, that's a good thing, man.
No, that's a bad thing.
That and we carry whatever guns we want to. Loaded, unloaded, long guns, short guns.
Speaking of guns, I'm trying to decide which ones I'm taking this trip. Probably the 357 and possibly the 12 gauge. If those two won't do the trick, nothing in the world will.
That's a pretty decent choice, I think. Give you a little bit of options.
Yeah.
I mean, you aren't going to shoot them fish, chances are. So.
Well,
hopefully, you won't have to defend yourself against any invading humans. So.
well, the campsites don't allow alcohol out there. That don't mean there ain't none.
Yeah, we know how that goes.
And they got regular drive-bys to make sure that everybody's where they're supposed to be and doing what they're supposed to do. So,
well, if everybody did what they were supposed to do, we all wouldn't have to carry guns, you know. But
exactly. This is
that
why
ain't the world we live in.
this is why I take one of the guns with me every time I go out there, just in case. If somebody wants to get stupid, we can get stupid. I'd like to avoid it if all possible, but
you know, my daughter, she don't understand. She said, "Why are you taking a gun there? Nobody's gonna shoot you there." It's like, well, if you could predict when and where it's gonna happen, then yeah, you could play that game, but you can't. So.
That's why I don't. People that say things like that have very loose grips on reality. I'm no offense to you or your daughter, but take a look at all these shopping malls. Well, you don't need a gun in a shopping mall. Ain't nobody gonna hurt you there. How many shopping mall shootings has there been?
You shouldn't need one in a movie theater either, but
yeah, or a dance club, but
right.
or school, but
Or church.
and let's not even talk about post office. And I'm surprised that's only happened a couple of times.
Rich White says he carries a gun around the house in case the toaster starts laughing. I
Hey,
do.
you gotta watch out for them Decepticons.
Yeah.
They're sneaky suckers. They could hide anywhere.
Yeah, they could turn into a toaster or a microwave oven. You never know.
A refrigerator?
Yeah.
And believe me, a Decepticon the size of a refrigerator might not be easy to deal with.
No, you better have something bigger than a 380, probably.
Yeah. I'd be jumping up to at least 12 gauge.
12 gauge or at least a 45 if it had to be a sidearm.
Well, no, I got my 357. So.
Well, I don't own one of them, so.
Well, see, now you know what you need to pick up. I just answered a question for you that you didn't even know was a question.
Well, I have thought about it. I'll bet you they're kind of hard to hold on to. I mean, there's a hell of a lot of recoil on a 357.
It ain't bad. Not with this GP 100 anyway. It ain't. I ain't never really noticed it.
Still be fun to shoot though.
Yep.
But yep, that's one caliber I've never gotten into. That and 40 Smith and Wesson. I don't own anything in that either.
I have never shot a 40, so I don't know anything about that round. I have no clue anything about that round. Some people swear by it, some people hate it. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I got buddies, who that's just it. They don't want to own a gun unless it's in 40 caliber.
And then there's the other guys that talk about that 357 SIG, and I ain't never heard nobody say anything bad about that one.
You don't see it a lot. It'd be interesting to try, and if they had something at the range you could rent, just give it a few shots and try it.
I don't know. There's just something about that little cartridge that I find unique. I'd love to have something chambered in one.
I think that what is it, 22 TCM?
Yeah,
that'd be kind of a neat round to play with too. A very high velocity 22.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm going to call it quits for the night. Like I said, I'll have something on here tomorrow night. I'll go live for a little while from the campsite, maybe try. Anyway, depending on what my cell signal looks like from out there. Gary, I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate everybody out there that stopped in to say hello tonight. Like I said, 6:30 tomorrow, I'll be on. I'll try to get something out here to you. I'll go live for a little while. Try to anyway. Gary, you got anything to plug before you take off, brother?
Oh, the normal gizzardgary.com. But the main thing is, I want you to remember to drive safely, go have a good time, catch plenty of fish, and tell us all about it tomorrow.
Will do. Will do.
Good luck, buddy.
Hopefully, I'll be posting some on Facebook or Instagram or something if I catch any. Y'all say a prayer for me. Maybe I'll get lucky and catch a state record catfish.
Say that'd be all right. Do it. I'll do it.
Yep. Anyway, guys, I'm out of here. I'll catch y'all later.
Bye.